From the lighter side of... Oh my god! Oh, that is a dead body. Okay, do I call anyone? Okay. I'm just gonna step over. Oh god, I think it touched me. Okay. Oh god, I gotta get to my seat. Nope. No. Okay, I gotta call someone. It's Tales from the Crawl Space. Post-Halloween Morbid clearance sale.
Welcome to another spine-tingling, titillating episode of Tales from the Crawl Space. And today we are going to have a lovely show tonight. It's going to be full of horrors and macabre things, and they are all on sale today. Today only. It is the clearance sale of the century. And with me to help pimp these outdated material is none other than Jack Starry. Jack, how's it going tonight?
Oh, doing just fine. Do you know I have five stories for you?
Oh man, yeah, we're doing our evil laugh half off today because yes, this is the day after Halloween, and so we're slashing prices on everything. So, oh my gosh.
We've got stories like Michael Jackson's got little kids' pants half off.
Ooh, damn, half off. Yeah,
I had a good week. How are you, man? How you been?
Not too bad. Slow week at work equals a day off today, and which was great because that gave me a chance to go visit the old man. A couple days ago, my birthday reared its ugly head as it does on October 30th of every year. I actually turned the tender young age of 60. What day was it? See, I can't remember. Wednesday, the 30th. I turned 60 years old.
16, you said?
16? Huh? Yeah, 16. Yeah. No, I don't want to say I'm 16 because I'll get a lot of cheese bags in trouble.
Pervert.
Jail bait. I'm nursing home bait now, buddy. I'm 6-0. Oh my God. So anyway, on several occasions this week, I did fall and was still able to get up. So, I'm going to go ahead and return all the 28 Life Alert systems that I got in the mail from you cheese bags over for my birthday. So they are not necessary. Save one. Yeah, I get the minute I get it, I will fall and can't get up. Anywho, it was a great birthday. It could have been much worse. Let's just put it that way. But when I woke up to the multitude of birthday greetings from the cheese bags, that was really took me by surprise. And God damn it, thank you every single one of you for the birthday wishes. It was the most incredible thing I ever saw in my life. So, and this guy right here, the video, enough said, man. That was wow.
Every word of it was true, brother.
Nothing like sitting at my desk at the office trying to get daily worksheets put together. I got a half-eaten croissant sandwich in my hand. I got tears running down my eyes because this thing was so fucking heartfelt. It was just like, I'm a fucking mess today, man. Thanks.
Every word of it was true, brother. And happy birthday again. And I hope it was an awesome day for you. I really do.
No, it was a terrific day. And the next day I got to go out and have myself a little Korean hot pot, which was delicious. It was, I gotta say it was delicious. Only the first time I kind of overdid it. I'll be honest. I've done the Korean barbecue before, but I'd never done the hot pot. What a fucking concept this shit is, you guys.
It is.
I mean, they come in, I go in, I sit down. Each seating area in the booth has like a small induction burner on it, so you don't burn your elbows when you're doing. They bring out these things. They ask you what kind of broth you want. I went with a spicy Szechuan, which mistakes were made. So because it was, oh my God, it was 2 feet from hell. and you bring it up to a boil, and you get to choose your meat. They bring the meat out, and then there's like a salad bar that you go get your other vegetables and shit like that. They got some lobster balls up there, and who knew lobster balls were so big? I mean, the creatures are only like this long.
I know,
but the balls on them are like this. So, but for crustacean genitals, they were pretty good. And let's just, and then my esteemed daughter and lovely bride say, "Oh, we've got cake." Okay. Well, he's got cake. So, and so I had cake on top of that. And then the time comes to pay the check. I said, I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of the cake to the car. I'll meet y'all out there after you guys settled up. So I get out there. First thing I do is open that van door, throw that cake in there, slam, go behind the building, and just let loose in the parking lot. I'm sorry. And it wasn't because the food was bad. It wasn't because, the food was tainted. It was because I just ate too goddamn much of it. I was just like, I gave, and I told Ellen about it, my beautiful bride, and she felt cheated because she paid for food that I gave back to him.
You were fit to bust.
I was fit to bust, and I damn near busted too.
Well, I got to hot pot should cost a lot less than it does because you're doing the cooking.
That's true. Yeah, it's a lot more labor intensive meal.
It is
than say a sandwich or something like that.
Because I went and I was like, God damn, it costs that much. Holy shit.
You know what? Yeah, that was pretty pricey. It was a tad less than what I thought it would be, but yeah, it was still up there. But you know what? When it takes a special talent to slice brisket that fucking thin.
Well, it's an experience though. Like, you're kind of paying for the experience, and it's fun to sit there, and make your own little concoction, sitting at the table. So it's fun. I've done it. I enjoy it.
It is. It's a great social event for everybody at the table because you get to talk, you get to dip, you get to try some of the shit of other people's and stuff. It is. It was really fun. Really fun. And speaking of really fun, we got some good stories tonight, didn't we?
Oh, we sure did. We sure did. I want to tell you though one thing. One thing I want to tell you.
Uh-huh.
My house is done.
Yay!
Completely done. Completely fucking done. 100% done.
Awesome. Holy
fucking
shit.
finally, after 2 years.
2 years
overdue, should I say?
Yep, definitely overdue. And I have been following the progress on it. You've been gracious enough to send me pictures of the progress. It's beautiful, man. It is just absolutely beautiful, and I cannot fucking wait to see it in person. And hopefully that time will come fairly soon.
Yeah, we're gonna have a cheese bag party up here on the mountain. So
cheese stock 2025, baby. Oh my God! Speaking of cheese bags, I wanted to go ahead and pass along a special thank you to the individual, and you know who you are, who sent me a great birthday present. Quite possibly the most hideously ugly Tony Spangler tumbler that he has ever made. And why do I say that? Because it's got a picture of me on it, flipping off the camera with no shirt. It says, "Happy birthday, Papa Cheese Bag." And let's look down a little bit. You see that right there? Look, you see it? Yeah, see it? Yeah.
His little nipple.
Ooh, Jack. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Damn, man. I'm telling you. Now listen to it. Thanks, Jack. You got it hard as steel, hard as surgical stainless steel. But yeah, we're going to circle back. We're going to talk a little bit later about Tony Spangler's tumbler. But God damn, you guys! I think this was a gift from the Mod Squad. Thank you very much. Look at that deal.
I love it.
I remember the day we took this the day this picture was taken. I had just been informed that one of our cheese baguettes was written up over a situation where she was posing, taking a selfie. She was wearing this, a very, very smart, very attractive tank top, I believe it was, and she was holding a wand. She was wearing gloves at the time, which was not only smart and safe, but hot as fuck. And she, and apparently word got out, and ag got involved, and she got written up, which was a crock of horse shit. So that was my protest to it. So, I was driving around with my fucking shirt off. But yeah, go ahead and write me up now. Come on, fucking report me. I dare you.
From the lighter side of pest control, this is the Tales from the Crawl Space podcast with your hosts, Jack and Brad.
They're too busy masturbating the right ship. When the right hands are masturbating hand, they can't do a thing about it.
You ain't lying about that. Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking there's a couple of ag golfers that do like to do that, in one of the really large states down south. But we won't get into that. Yeah. Okay, that in itself is a pretty morbid story there, Jack. And if anybody's been keeping track of it, if you know, you know. I'm not saying more.
Yep, that's for goddamn sure. But let's see. For good stories we actually have someone who's going to be a guest on our show next week on our Women in Pest Control episode, Miss Jerusha Riopel.
Oh God!
And this is a great. You're going to love this story. This is a good one. Okay, she goes, here's my ghost story. It's probably going to be a long one. I took over servicing a mental health institute that got its start as an insane asylum back in 1883. Mental health in those days was very abusive, and a lot of the buildings have a really heavy energy about them. These days, it offers several levels of care and placement, including high security for the criminally insane. I'm there twice a week and have had several encounters that can't be explained. My coworker and I went into the museum on the grounds, and it has shelves of items that were found when the crews broke ground for a new building and found a mass grave that no one knew existed.
Oh, wow.
Over 90 bodies were found, all unmarked. As we were finishing up our service, we stopped to look at stop it. There you go. We stopped to look at some of the items and heard a woman's voice speaking, but we couldn't understand what she was saying. We thought that the employees must have shown up for work until we heard somebody walking around the room with us. We made our way out of the building and realized that we had been the only ones inside. In another building, I was setting rodent traps in an unused kitchen that I had to pass through 3 sets of locked doors to get to, locking them all behind me. I set the traps. I heard someone whistling as if they were standing right next to me. When I returned to check on the activity 2 weeks later, I was standing on the opposite side of the kitchen from the entrance door when it slammed shut. The third time that I returned to treat the kitchen and check my traps, the door slammed shut right as I reached for the handle to leave. I don't lock the doors behind me anymore so that I can make a quick exit. In another building last week, I was placing rodent equipment in an unused area that used to be half of a hall of patient cells. I opened a closet and inspected it for droppings, but found nothing, so I moved on. I later decided to put traps in it just in case. When I opened it again, there was a handprint in the dust on a chair that had not been there the first time I entered the room. The handprint, not the chair.
Okay, yeah.
I service this property twice a week, and I'm sure the ghost stories will keep coming. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a lot of shit.
Yeah, it's one thing that to hear noises and things that maybe inanimate objects dropping, shoving around, touching one another. But voices, man, the voices are a different beast altogether. Yeah.
Now,
man,
didn't you have a morbid story? You had to hop over something, didn't you? I mean, you mentioned it a while back. You had to jump over something.
I did, yeah. A couple, a few episodes back, I mentioned this. I was doing regular pest service for one of the missions downtown. Excuse me, in our fair city. God damn,
you okay?
You were going to put me on the spot and make me tell this story while I was gassy. Anyway, so I was doing the service. It's early in the morning. I have to be there at like 4:30, 5 a.m. And I pull up right behind me, there's a ambulance that pulled behind me. And so lights are flashing, sirens were there until they pulled in. I beat them into the front door, but I couldn't get in. And then when the medics came in, they automatically buzzed them in and I followed them. But they were still doing their thing when I was trying to head down to the basement, which was where the kitchen was. And lo and behold, apparently a hobo had perished the night before. Oh. This particular person was actually laying on the floor in front of the doorway down to the basement. They did tastefully put a blanket over him, so I didn't see, what state this gentleman was in other than dead. And I was like, I was bound and determined to get that kitchen done. I got up way too early in the fucking morning to put up with this shit. Dead or alive, I'm going in. So I open the door, I throw my tool bag, my tool bag over him and grab a hold of both sides and just fucking hop right over the dude. And so it's like I didn't think another thing about it because I was focused. I had to get down, get that kitchen done. When I finally got done with it, I came back up. Of course, they'd already drug him off, and went up to the director and apologized for what I did. And the director was really sympathetic with me and understanding, and he said, I hope you got that pantry real good. The roaches there are fucking horrible. So, that's my story. That's my jumping over a dead body story. And then when I hit my boss up over it, later that morning, he goes, pictures or it didn't happen. Like, I take a fucking picture of that.
You said that you couldn't see what state he was in, but it was Indiana. That's where he was. It was Indiana. That's the state he was in.
I was thinking more rigor mortis, pallor mortis,
Oh, well, yeah.
Rick and Mortis.
Thanks for cock blocking my joke there, man. Come on.
Oh, you were going to hit me with Rick and Mortis?
No, the state he was in was Indiana, dumbass. Come on.
Oh, fuck. Oh, okay, I get it. Sorry.
I was reaching. Come on, I was
reaching.
Hey,
man, my cock had to be doing something this weekend. Might as well be blocking your jokes. Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Speaking of jokes, so I spent the day down at my dad's, right? Uh-huh. He's 85 years old. Going through, as all 85-year-old people do, he's going through some health issues. One of them has deprived him of his ability to taste and smell. Ooh. And, he was like, we finished dinner. We had a nice dinner and everything. Dessert. We were cleaning everything up. Me and my bride were getting ready to get in the car and head back up north so we could get home in time to deliver the finest pest control podcast out there to you, right, our 12 listeners. But anyway, so of course my dad, he gets up and he's kind of doing what he can to kind of help clean things up. And then he rips the harshest ass I've ever smelled in a long time, right? And he's not smelling a damn thing. And even his wife was over there like, oh, Everett, oh, yeah. And I was just like, I didn't think about it because I was on the other part of the room. Well, it's time for me to start loading stuff into the car. I go down the steps to his garage and it hit me like a goddamn wall. And I was like, oh, Jesus. And Dad's like, you all right? I said, yeah, I'm just finding out what my fucking inside of my ass is going to smell like in 25 years. He was like, I can't share that moment with you, Brad. It's like, really? Damn you.
My dad would do it.
We certainly shared it with everybody else.
My dad would blame me for it. He'd bust ass. Somebody walk through, he'd go and point to me like it was
so
my
your
fault.
Dad didn't have a dog then, I take it.
No.
The dog is always the first one.
Poor dog. Poor Max.
Oh man, Max is always the first one to get. Yeah, Max though. Max is an uptight dog. He's one of those dogs that's he's like, that's his fart. It's like, loosen up, dude. Because like we used to have a lot of French bulldogs, and they would just lay there and they'd just be like. I had one that was so chill, her farts were like.
Oh wow! That makes me curious as to what that dog's doing in his spare time.
Oh yeah, anal's on the dog's menu at all times. Yeah, I got you.
They don't call it doggy style for a reason.
Oh, that was Clover. That was our very, very old French bulldog. And I'll tell you what, man, when that dog shit. I mean, French bulldogs are like, like 25, 30 pounds tops, and she'd get out in the yard and it would just be like,
Is that the one that happened outside of the hotel room you told me about?
No, that was Dewey. But he was like a young teenage dog, and that's going to happen. And he was a much larger bulldog. He was close to a 40-pounder.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that was a great one, man. That woman was like cussing up a storm. I was like, I'm sorry. That's not yours. There's no way that could have came out of that dog. Dewey's looking up at me like, fooled her, didn't I? Oh my god. All right. I'm done talking about shit. So, hey, I got a couple stories here. One of them is from our buddy Armored Rose. She goes, I had a follow-up for a roach clean out a coworker did the week before. He warned me that the guy was weird and to not reach behind his keyboard in his bedroom. Of course, when the day came for the service, I completely forgot what he said. It was a mobile home tucked away in the woods, very secluded. You could smell the roaches as you walked up. Older guy answers the door. Well, he had 2 small wiener dogs by his side. First words out of his mouth were, "Wow, you're much prettier than the last guy who was here." Always a reassuring thing to hear before entering a stranger's home alone.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, in the middle of nowhere with 2 wiener dogs. Yeah, I don't trust them fucking wiener dogs.
That's not the only wiener that was on at attention.
Yeah, but that's the only wiener that's got teeth like needles. He's shorter in stature, slow moving with a bit of a shuffle in his step, but got around just fine as he followed me everywhere, talking about nonsense. After I finished the kitchen, he insisted I treat in his bedroom. He said he had roaches on his dresser, so I reluctantly head that way. At this point, I've already had a few different escape plans in my mind made up. Smart girl. He points to his dresser and he says he has him there behind his keyboard. Boom, boom, boom. When I stuck my hand behind there to place the monitor, I had a flashback to what my coworker said. And whatever you do, Rose, don't touch behind his keyboard.
Oh, boy.
That's where he keeps all his butt plugs. It's like, I know, my God. It's like he did it on purpose to see what I would do. Being the professional I am, I just changed where I placed the monitor and said, I'll just place it on top of the keyboard there, and left the bedroom. I tried to end the service, but he said he had just one more room he needed me to look at, some storage room that had 0 activity in it. He was just stalling at this point. He wanted to finish telling me about the book he wrote. I'm a writer. I love murder mysteries. So I wrote one, but you'll never guess who the killer is. It's someone you'd never expect. That was the last straw. I said I had to leave immediately and called my supervisor at the time in my car as I drove off yelling to never send me back to that man's house ever again. I don't care. They can fucking fire me. I am not being murdered over some damn roaches. You go, girl.
He did it in the computer room with a butt plug.
In the computer, yes. In the
That was low-hanging fruit, but I couldn't help it.
I had no clue you were going to do that. Man, oh man. We're all about low-hanging fruit here at the Morbid clearance sale. Oh.
Ever wonder what really goes down behind the scenes of the world's biggest events? Welcome to 500 Cats, where chaos, humor, and inside secrets of the event industry come together. Every episode, we bring you the laughs and mishaps and the unexpected wins that make event life unforgettable. Whether you're in the industry or just curious, come along for the ride and get ready for 500 Cats. Subscribe now and don't miss out. 500 Cats is waiting for you on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all other major listening platforms.
Well, we started with wieners. Low hanging fruit sits right behind it. So
That's right. Yeah, low dangling nuts. Damn. Oh shit. What do you got? You got another one?
I got Dave Lyon sent me a twofer here. One was his experience and one was a coworker. So Dave Lyon, that man has been telling me he wants a supernatural or unusual, creepy episode for at least a year now. So Dave, I was glad to get your story, and I thought of you first thing when I put that little thing up about getting stories. So he goes,
"Yeah, you're getting it. So shut the fuck up, mate."
He goes, "So here's my creepy story. So I used to do weekend fumigations at a major food manufacturer, and this place had a basement area that the staff called the dungeon. It was dark and gloomy. It was pretty creepy at the best of times. So every time I went down into that dungeon area, I got a really creepy feeling like you're being watched. Just very uneasy. But one day I was there and the only person on site, so I went down and had those same uncomfortable feelings. But this time, it was like a ramped up to times 10 all of a sudden. I just got this overwhelming feeling of being watched. I swear it went cold, like the temperature dropped like 10 degrees. All the hairs on my body stood up on end. I turned around and I swear I could see something walking through the fog of the fumigation. It walked from left to right and then right to left. And this wasn't the usual swirling of fog, usually moving as it was being moved by something walking. So I noped and I got the fuck out of there real quick. They ended up giving another tech the job, and he reported similar experiences. And he goes on to say this other story is from my coworker, James. So recently he went to do a termite inspection at a house that was vacant by the agent. Was going to meet him at some point. There was a key available, so he let himself in and went to use the bathroom. While he was in there, he heard something bang and then footsteps coming up the hallway, thinking it was the real estate agent. And he yelled out, "I'm just in the bathroom. I'll be out in a second." Mm-hmm. And then he heard the footsteps walking away as he finished up and came out. Looking all around the house, and there was nobody there, so this obviously freaked him out. So he continued to do the inspection, and as he got back to the front door, he could see straight down the hallway that he could hear footsteps the first time as he was looking. He heard heavy footsteps running straight at him, so he freaked out and just ran out the front door. He called me just after to tell me the story, and I could hear his voice shaking. So as he was on the way out the door, on being able to see all the way down the hallway and hearing footsteps run at him down the hallway, that's fucked up.
Mm-hmm. That is absolutely fucked up. That is scary. Yeah. Shit. Yeah. It's like you always wonder if you're going to be. I wonder if you thought he was going to be able to outrun him.
Well, Dave had the thing moving through the fog in that creepy ass basement. I mean,
yeah.
To be able to see the fog just shift from left to right and right to left. I mean, look, I've done things like that, and you can see like when with the air currents, like if you know, like plenum airspace, and something's moving stuff around. Right. But I mean, if it's actually changing direction,
if it's doing usually it just goes in one direction. But man.
Yeah. Wow. That's wild.
You guys are freaking me out tonight with these stories.
You're freaking me out, dear Mike.
Freaking me out here. God. Okay, let's see. I got one from none other than Russell No Ball Gosweller. You guys may remember Russell from last week's episode, which was a freaking phenomenal episode where Russell got to ask the panel of owner operators how to run his business. And boy, did they let him know. So, if sink or swim, Russell, it's all their fault. Okay. But he's got him a creepy story. I was spraying the interior on a home being sold, so it's empty. Realtor talked to me on the phone and said the door would be unlocked. Go ahead and just go in. While downstairs, I'm hearing someone upstairs yelling in Spanish, and I don't know all of what was said, but I could tell he was yelling for Linda. I get upstairs for a couple of rooms, and there is no one there. Now, there is someone downstairs yelling in Spanish, but all I keep hearing him yell Linda. I ran downstairs, and no one was there. Doors were still closed and locked, something I do if I'm there alone. I noped out of that fucking house pretty quick. There's a lot of noping going on tonight. Uh-huh. When the realtor was telling me how beautiful the home is and she had no idea why people don't live there long term, I kept my mouth shut, thanked her for the work, and moved on.
See, I imagine it's like that little kid in that video that goes, "Listen, Linda," talking to his mom. "Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda."
Yeah. Maybe it's calling for Linda McCartney or something. I don't know.
Linda!
Or Linda Lovelace.
Oh, I'd holler for that.
I just lost everybody. I just lost like half of our audience that was born after 1979.
There was a movie called Deep Throat. It was a pornographic film, and Linda Lovelace took that thing down to the balls.
That's right. Yeah, it was quite the feat for back then, I guess, because apparently, people women were born with shallower throats before then. I don't know.
Back then, it was just the tip.
Just the tip. But yikes almighty. Okay. I've lost my place here. You got another one?
I do. Mr. Sean Brummels hit me up on Jack at tftc.wtf. Mm-hmm. Sean, I don't know. I didn't check. I don't know if you're a cheese bag or not, but if you aren't, you should go to the Pest Control Humor Depot, our favorite group. And when you got to fill out the questionnaire to get on, say you submitted a story and that Jack and Brad sent you. But Sean goes on to say, I was headed to a regular service for a creepy customer whom called in asking to have the crawl space traded this visit. The house has a progression from short piers to taller ones towards the rear of the house and is all skirted closed. As I go under, I notice towards the center of the house something odd. As I approach that area, I find a metal chair chained to the pier with a tall pot sitting next to it. At this point, I'm like, nope. Luckily, he wasn't home, so I scooted out. Someone like keeping someone hostage in the crawl space. I mean, that's what John Wayne Gacy put bodies in the crawl space.
Hell yeah, I know he did. Yeah, he was the original. He had friends in crawl spaces.
I got friends in crawl spaces.
Absolutely.
When I fuck their butts and I eat their faces and bury them.
You're gonna lose my face here for a second. I gotta bend down to grab something I just dropped. Oh shit! What are you drinking tonight, Jack?
I'm enjoying myself some Louisiana tea.
All right.
I'm just feeling like some tea this evening.
Oh, very good. I am enjoying a couple of things. I'm enjoying I'm enjoying Angel's Envy, private selection that I got from William the Merciful for my birthday.
And that was your birthday bourbon, yeah.
That was my birthday bourbon, absolutely. And he didn't stop there either, buddy. He got me. He went all out. He got me a box of cigars. Some beautiful New World AJ Fernandez cigars as well. And open this motherfucker up. Look at that.
Oh, damn. Oh, yeah. Man.
Oh, these things are so fucking good, Jack. I mean, they're wonderful. Nicaraguan.
Jealous.
They are a mild cigar without being too much of a wallflower. So they do got some flavor. Pair really good with a sweet bourbon that is Angel's Envy. And it's a good 30-minute smoke. And but I've got 20 of them. This is about a 10-year supply for me. Because I do smoke cigars, but I'm not one of those guys that has to smoke a cigar every day or anything like that. I enjoy them with a fine bourbon and a quiet moment. And my life has been anything but quiet lately. So I figured I'm gonna have to get me one of them there Termidors to put it in, And yeah. So no, actually I did pick me up a humidor, and so I'm seasoning it. I am seasoning it as we speak. And
you have to season the humidor?
You have to season a humidor, yeah. Basically what you do is you wipe it out with a lightly damp cloth. Mm-hmm. And then after that, you take a dish of distilled water. It comes with a little humidifier. The thing that's got you put distilled water in it and it releases the moisture slowly over time. You put that in there, and then you take a small dish and you put about an inch of distilled water in it and set it in the humidor, and close the lid. and leave it there for 48 hours. So that way the cedar on the inside of the humidor will absorb that moisture and then it's seasoned after 48 hours. And if you've got a hydrometer, which mine has on there, it should be anywhere between 60 and 75% humidity inside the humidor. That's after it's been like that for a couple days. Then you put your cigars in there and you're good to go. Just keep it, you just got to keep it at that 60 to 75% humidity, I guess. I don't know. This is all new to me. I'm just reading the instructions. And then you can go ahead and store your cigars there. They're good to go. And Ellen can't wait because she wants this cigar box because it in itself is wood. And
nice.
She had designs on the box when it first came in.
My grandfather used to smoke El Productos when I was little. And,
El Productos, yeah.
And he'd give me all the boxes when he was done. So I had like boxes for my Legos, boxes for my crayons, boxes for my Matchbox cards, everything. I just love to smell the box. It just smells so good.
I love the smell of a good box too, Jack.
yeah. I kind of left that one wide open there for you.
You did. I appreciate that. Let's appreciate you not cock blocking my shit.
Well, I got one of the very first episodes we ever did at Tales from the Crawl Space pre-Brad. So obviously the quality of the shows were much less fantastic. But we did a Morbid episode years ago now. Actually, we've been doing it for a long fucking time, ain't we, Brad? Years ago, and for people who haven't gone back and listened to the backlog or what have you, you really should. But if you haven't, here's my morbid story. I was doing rotation at an apartment complex in Martinsburg, West Virginia, and there was this one lady that always refused pest control service, wouldn't want anybody in the apartment at all, no matter what, under any circumstances. So I was across the complex, always had a maintenance guy go with me. He unlocked all the doors, really efficient. The guy was always, moved quickly, got it taken care of. Fantastic guy. And Brad, I think your mic is off. There you go.
It's on now.
So we were up there and his radio goes off and it's the front office and they say, "Hey, she's gone. Can you get the pest control guy down here?" So the guy's like, "Well, we're just about done here. You want to finish up and head down?" I was like, "Sure." So we hit the last apartment there and head across the complex. Got there, opened the door. Maintenance guy stood outside, and the place smelled off. It didn't smell like death. It just smelled off. So I go in. You walk in. You're in the living room, and then you kind of shift to the left a little bit, and to the right is when you get past the living room wall. There's the kitchen. Went in the kitchen, kind of used the tip of my B&G. I had the long wand on. I fucking love that long one because I'm tall. I hate stupid anyways. So lifted the lid of the trash can, brand new bag. Nothing to speak of. Sink was clean. Come out of the bathroom. Come out of the kitchen, walk down the hallway, door to the left, little room, small room, had a cot in it. Obviously it had been used. Little desk, that kind of thing. No big deal. That's not where the smell was coming from. A little bit farther down the hall to the right, the bathroom. Open the bathroom. Toilet was flush. Bathroom was clean. Just a couple little pieces of tissue in the trash can, nothing to speak of. But the smell was getting a little stronger. So I get down to the end of the hallway. Right in front of me at the very end of the hallway is the door. I knock on it, announce myself, nothing. Knock on it again, announce myself, nothing at all. I open the door and I get it cracked open some and I'm peeking in the room and there's just enough light coming in from the window with the shades drawn that it's like twilight in the room. And I see a shape in the bed. I'm like, oh shit. So I back up and I apologize. I'm like, sorry. And nobody said anything. Nobody moved. So I'm like, did I see what I saw? Is it someone's just the blankets? What is it? So I push the door open all the way. And I used the tip of my wand to hit the switch on the bedroom, on the wall by the door, turn the light on in the bedroom. And there's this older dead lady laying on her back in the bed with the blankets drawn up just below her shoulders. And she's in one of those old nightgowns that had like the frilly neck on it, and the blankets are like up to here, like just above her chest. and her shoulders are out, and you could tell by her face, with the color being gone and the eyes were sunken in, the cheeks were recessed, that she was dead. But apparently it looked like someone had been taking care of her or something. And what it turns out being, I went out, I told the management guy, the maintenance guy, we told the office, cops showed up. I had to make a statement, told them what I touched, where I've been in the apartment. And apparently that lady had come over from Africa with her mother, became a born-again Christian, and when her mother passed away, she thought that she prayed over her mother enough that God would bring her back. And she kept her mother moisturized in the process, just in case. So I guess when she come back, she wouldn't have to go through a big whole skin regimen just to get back up to speed. So, yeah, that's my dead body story. So,
oh God. You know, I'm having a hard time keeping my food down right now thinking about that.
Oh, I've seen bodies before when I was an EMT a long time ago.
Oh, sure.
I saw a guy blew his head off sitting against the wall, so that was not fun to look at, especially in a hot trailer with the air conditioning off. That stunk.
Oh, so. Not a damn bit. Yeah. So, yeah. Yep. Hey, our buddy Sancho's brought us one, man.
Oh, Sancho! I love Sancho's story.
Sancho always brings a good story. So he goes,
yes, he does.
This happened about first week of October in an old church in rural Georgia. The service window is anytime after 6 p.m. I arrived at 5 p.m. waiting on everybody to leave the building. Okay, first off, this starts off morbid with having a service window that starts anytime after 6 p.m.
What the fuck?
God damn, man. So, leave the building, 6 p.m. I I entered to start. Halfway through the service, I ran out of glue boards and needed a cig. So I go outside. It's dark. Not a person in sight, but I saw someone standing in front of a window. I went back inside and saw a lady at the pews. I think she was praying. I said, "Hi, I'm here to do pest control." She turned to me, didn't say a word. I ignored her and moved on to the rest of the church. As I finished, I returned to the congregation area. I saw her again, just extremely pale. I said, "Are you okay?" Once again, just stares, no words. I said, "I'm leaving." As I hopped in the truck and drove a mile down the road, I swear I saw her again walking towards the church. Maybe it was a spirit, or maybe it was a gas station adult treats was a tad strong. Either way, I ain't Scooby and the gang. I ain't Scooby and the gang, so I left it be. I go back there next month, so we'll see if she returns. Damn, yeah. Sancho. Yeah. You got to stay away from those gas station gummies, dude.
That should make you crazy.
Hell yeah, man.
Them guys can make you crazy, for sure.
Yep, bath salts. Yeah, kind of. Maybe lay off the bath salts.
Yeah, no eating anybody's face. So.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. And so I get a lot. I have a lot of discussion with one of the technicians there at Trio about skinwalkers. So speaking of weird stuff, yeah, I don't know enough about skinwalkers. I'm just assuming there's some sort of fukwuji that crawls around and does nefarious things. But I was trying to shut him up, and we was talking about. And so the discussion came up about things that went down in Europe during the 1930s and 40s. And how some of those people never were brought to justice, and the places that they went to hide from the justice that they so richly deserved. And I said, and so I told him, I said, they all got together down there in Argentina and just kept continuing their experiments. Mm-hmm. He goes, He's like, we're driving around. I'm driving around. He's, I got his attention now because I'm thinking conspiracy theories. I'm talking conspiracy theory. I'm talking his game, and I said, and some of those experiments went awry while they were trying to develop the perfect race of superhuman. They wanted to continue their mission that was interrupted during World War II. So they picked it up, but things went horribly wrong. And unfortunately, one of them got out, and then just about a year later, another one got out, and now they're running around, and everybody calls them skinwalkers. He goes, "Really?" I said, "No." I said, "I'm just trying to fuck with you, man." He's just like, he goes, well, that
Fuck
sounded
you, man.
real good. That sounded real good, man. Oh, God.
I've seen TikTok videos about those things. Like there's some type of shapeshifter, and they're
Uh-huh.
like, they'll mimic a person's voice asking for help out in the woods, and you're supposed to go out there, and they're supposed to get you. So,
Yeah. Uh-huh. Exactly. What about gosh, Sasquatch? Are you a Sasquatch kind of guy? I mean,
Well-
I don't mean you personally, but because
I
yes,
am,
you are.
Maybe not so much Sasquatch. I mean, there's enough hunters in the woods that you'd think that there'd be some type of documentation where things are a lot less blurry. I mean,
Mhm.
if we can read license plates from space, why the fuck can't we get one clear picture of Bigfoot when everybody claims to see him? I mean, there was that TV show about hunting Bigfoot, and spoiler alert, they never found him.
No.
So they had so many seasons of a show where nothing fucking happens.
Are you talking
Except
about?
people
Yeah,
walk
that's
through
kind of
the
like that
woods.
one treasure in that one island place. I can't remember what it is. They've been digging at it for like fucking 8 years and not finding
Mhm.
anything. But every episode they get really close. This could be it. This could be the dig. This could be the one. It's like, oh nope, it's not. See you next week. And I was like, you guys.
It's
you
like
guys,
Geraldo when he
come
opened
on.
up Al Capone's safe. When Geraldo opened up Capone, they made a big production out of it and wanted a fucking thing in it.
Yeah, but imagine doing that every fucking week for like 8 years.
Oh,
It's like you
I
think
know.
somebody would finally catch on.
What's the one about the swamp people? It's supposed to be a reality show, but there's like 4 different camera angles as the guy's crawling through the woods, but there's no one on either side of him with the camera. So you know, like how many times did they take that shot to get all those different
Yeah.
camera angles? That's real reality show for you.
Oh yeah, and take the exterminator one where this guy that wears like leather vests and
don't get me fucking
spike
started on
hair
that
and stuff. You know, it's like every day, every week he was killing bugs, but we know that they were just fake bugs and none of them were ever dying because the guy didn't know what the fuck he's doing.
That dude got busted putting a turkey in a bar to be called to get the turkey out of the bar. He fucking put it in there just to get it out. And he's a pathetic piece of shit. He can take his 80s hair and go suck a dick somewhere. That's what he can do.
Yeah. I guess he worked a little while at the Big Green Tea too, from what I gathered. Yeah, no, I'm serious, legit. One of the dudes that used to work with me. Yeah, it's like, hey man, I saw him. He sends me a picture of him. It's like, that's not. Oh wait, that is fucking him because he's all cleaned up. He didn't have his TV
metal
made for
shit.
TV outfit out. Yeah, because Big Green Tea ain't gonna put up with that shit.
Yeah, leather gloves with the fingers cut off are not PPE. Just let you know that is not PPE.
They are not. Yeah. Because otherwise, if that was the case, our motto would be "Hobo glove up, cheese bags."
I tell you, I got a couple more.
But it
stories
makes
here.
picking the nose a lot easier. Mm-hmm.
That it really does, because sometimes that bulky glove gets all jammed up there, and it gets crusty, and it's hard. You end up getting shit on your phone when you try to like text somebody. It's just bad. It's a bad scene. It really is.
And you can forget about breathing around it too. So.
I got Mr. Trenton Passmore said, I was treating the exterior of an Amish house in rural Kentucky. And speaking of the segue from the question you asked me, I turned away from the house to catch a view of the green fields and horses when out of the corner of my eye, I see a large, brown, hairy arm come out of the nearest tree line. It was like swiping away the brush. When I turned my head to get a better focus, it was gone. I then started hearing a high-pitched whooping sound coming from the woods. When I reached one of the barns that I regularly service, the landowner was there. I jokingly said something along the lines of, "You got some weird stuff going on in those woods out there." He then proceeds to tell me that they have a Sasquatch that braids their horse's hair at night. I never kept my back turned to the wood line again.
Wow. And back to that as well. I know he exists because I know that there is at least probably 3 or 4 people out there that have actually bagged them a Squatch, had it mounted and put in their house, but they only show their friends because like, hey, they're going out, because they're the ones that used to grow the weed and stuff out in the forest and stuff, and they got tripwire and everything, whole Copperhead Road bullshit. Hey, come here, you want to see something cool? Come here, Carl. Open up the room. The room reeks of fresh weed curing and fucking hanging off of wires and stuff. And there he is. He's got Sasquatch in a Heisman Trophy pose. It's like, I got that 2 years ago. Purdy, ain't it? You tell another fucking person in there, I'm gonna fucking kill you. So they're probably out there.
Man, he come running at them trees, and I got that blackout rifle, and I popped him one, and I drug him back.
Yep, didn't mess up the fur or nothing.
Don't look at the back of him. You don't want to know what I did before I got him mounted.
That's right. It took me forever. It took me a whole hour to get the grease off of that fur.
Man, I couldn't find the hole for like 15 minutes. I had to keep rooting around in there for it.
Yeah, look at that pecker on that, man. Pretty impressive, ain't it? Yeah. I asked the taxidermist how he got it to stand straight up like that. He goes, "That wasn't no problem. I just stuck one of them there urethral sounding rods from Tony Spangler up in there, and it stands proud like a tall, fleshy Marine." I'm telling you what, and there is no other thing that's going to hold us still like that. I mean, we're talking surgical steel, stainless steel, stiff as a board. My 60-year-old ass can't bend it, so some of y'all probably could. I know some of y'all could probably bend it just putting it in there, and it was like next thing you know. But these things are great, and every one of these comes with one of his tumblers too. So don't forget about that. And not every tumbler comes with a Brad Harvey nipple attached to it either. No. See, and I'm telling you what, if you can think it, he can make it.
Yes.
Yeah. And especially weird shit like this. You want to totally thrill somebody with some great graphics and stuff. I mean, this is not great graphics because I've got no shirt on. Only people like Rodney can get away with going shirtless on the podcast. But Tony has pulled it off on several occasions with the graphics, nice sharp details, handsome motherfuckers on there. Best groups on there. It's got it all. And Jack, there's a little feature on there that keeps it from sliding around on your desk too.
That would be the rubber bottom. I love me some rubber bottom.
Mm-hmm. It's got it all. I mean, it's just totally got it all. We've got a great tumbler. We've got some good surgical steel medical equipment here. And sometime in the very near future, I'm going to run a video to show how to clean the lid. Because the lid, there is a method to the madness. You can take this lid apart. I have discovered the secret. And probably this weekend sometime, I'm going to go ahead and run a video, put it on the depot, and show everybody how to clean these things out. Because they do get a little bit, you got to take care. You got to take care of your equipment. And
yes, you do.
So, for good, clean fun, you can't beat it. Tony Spangler, SpanglerArt.com. Get yourself one of these. You can message him on Facebook at Pest Control Humor Depot, our favorite group. And he'd be more than happy to send you a surgical stainless steel sounding rod, and he'll go ahead and throw in a tumbler to boot. So, if this is something that you want or something that you need, always remember.
If you got Peronis, reach for Tony. Steal urethral sounding rods.
I tell you, and it is the holiday season. So, first of all, I love that jingle. But second of all, it's the holiday season, so it's a great time to get them.
Absolutely. A cleared out urethra is the gift that keeps on giving the whole year,
really
Clark.
It really is. It truly is.
Yeah. That and the jelly of the month. So I got
something real nice. Get you something
real nice. That's right. I got one more here. Actually, where to go? Okay, we got another good scary story here. In the late spring, locally, we have all kinds of young fauna running around our neighborhoods. Bears have emerged from hibernation and are tipping over garbage cans in search of an easy meal. Brand new fawns are learning to stay away from cars that are moving and approaching tourists holding apples in hopes of being able to hand feed deer. Pacific chorus frogs are almost deafening at night while all the boys are looking for girlfriends. European garden spiderlings, also known as Arenaeus diadematus, and I know I messed that up, but who gives a fuck, are beginning to hatch and starting to build their first webs. Camponotus modoc are busy working away in their galleries and making themselves known to the local Homo sapiens, who quickly pick up the phone in a panic because something is eating their house. No, they are not. Basically, they're actually building, hence the common name carpenter ant. But that's not really part of my scary story. Basically, it's spring, and the heathen gods have once again returned the sun to us. And most things that have babies are starting to have babies. Chasing raccoons out of crawl spaces is one of the many services that we offer to our local townsfolk, and is a guarantee that we will receive calls for this particular service in the spring after the mothers have had their kits. Around here, raccoons are pretty famous for completely destroying a subfloor insulation package to make their nest in, and it isn't that difficult to chase mom out of the crawl space long enough to gather up the kids and evict all of them back to the outside while repairs are made to the house that they can't get back inside. Although from time to time, a persistent mother raccoon will dismantle repairs made up because she just can't take a hint. Anywho. The worst I ever faced with wildlife up to this point in my career was a new family of raccoons that had taken up residence in an attic who were reluctantly, but eventually evicted from that space as well. Noting I would never want to repeat, but raccoons will do raccoon things. Little did I know there was at least one more species in the animal kingdom who I never considered going toe-to-toe with in a crawl space area, and I definitely know better now. Now, if you haven't seen the video of some dummy chasing a black bear out of a crawl space, I implore you to go watch it. Although if I ever get the call that a bear has decided to start rearranging a crawl space, I will have to tell that client that Fish and Game needs to get involved, because in the great state of Washington, to carry a tranquilizer gun, you need to be a licensed veterinarian. And the last thing I want to do is tangle with a bear that has decided to den up under your house. And in the video that I mentioned, I think that a particular job could have been done in a better way, but it takes a special kind of crazy to willingly enter a confined space with a bear anyway. Mm-hmm. Still pales in comparison to the horrors that are about to greet me one spring afternoon in coastal Washington. A call comes in for an animal removal at one of our regular customers' homes, and I am tasked with locating the critter and beginning the eviction process. Getting the home and into the crawl space is pretty routine, and nothing really looked out of the ordinary. But I also couldn't see how our little friend was getting inside. Noting a little inspection from the inside of the crawl space, and I should be able to determine the level of repairs needed to be made and where the weak spot is at. Navigating the labyrinth, I start to notice that the subfloor insulation is completely intact, and I start to question if my longtime clients have begun to go senile, because they are definitely hearing something underneath the house. Scanning the areas of the crawl space that I can see and cautiously making my way around the plumbing and ductwork, I hear a low growl off to my right in the darkness, and without even direct light from my trusty Costco flashlight, I can see the glow of two eyes peering back at me. As I aim my beam of light towards the low rumble that my newfound friend is making, it becomes alarmingly clear that I have entered an otter's den. Oh. Now, I do not claim to be a zoologist by any stretch of the imagination. I'm currently working on becoming an associate certified entomologist, or ACE. I would like to think of myself as a professional and to at least have an elementary understanding of most of the animals that live in my local region, with a specialty leaning towards insects and raptors. Both I find fascinating for different reasons, but I digress. Literally eye to eye with an angry apex predator known to viciously protect their young against anything deemed a threat, I knew I potentially was in deep shit. Oh. Backing out of the crawl space the way I came, careful not to make any sudden movements, and to do my best to keep an eye on the irate otter mother, ready to attempt and defend myself should my escape efforts happen to go sideways. I emerged from the crawl space with an anxious husband and wife awaiting my prognosis and solutions. Removing my respirator and catching my breath, I look at the old man and tell him, "This house no longer belongs to you." To continue to explain the nesting habits of river otters and their particular tenacity of returning to their original shelter during the birthing season. And that his options are to sell the house in the summer, and it will magically no longer be his problem, or he will have to figure out how to euthanize our little friends on his own, because that is the only way to prevent them from returning. The good news, however, is that otters don't want much to do with subfloor insulation. They're just looking for a den space away from their predators that might want them to cause harm to the pups. I explained that I could come back in a couple months when the otters have moved on and see what kind of repairs might be able to be made. But again, otters are notorious for damaging repairs and returning to their dens. All that being said, this was by far the most scared I had ever been at work. Not only by that, an otter by nature is an apex predator, but she moves much easier and quicker in a crawl space than I ever could wish to.
Oh,
and the fact that she is sharp on 5 sides doesn't help much either. All that in hindsight, I am now very aware of homes in my community that are having larger animal issues that are situated near our local 24 miles of canals and bay areas. I am also aware of how fortunate I am that I was able to leave the crawl space area unscathed. We work with all forms and sizes of wildlife, and it would do most of us good to remember that by and large, humans are soft, squishy, and have no real natural defenses against most things within the animal kingdom, and that each living species that we come across in our daily duties deserves some level of respect and understanding. If nothing else, it definitely helps me to be a better professional in our trade. Glove up, you cheese bags. There are things out there that can kill us without a second thought.
That's for damn sure, man. That'd be fucked up. That's a big fuck no for me.
Yeah, that is a big fuck no. I need oxygen. That was quite a story, man.
It was.
I am trying to read this story, and I'm also trying to be the end of the story because it had my attention right away, and I was trying to keep track of the story, read it to everybody, so everybody to share it with everybody else. There was emotions going on in me, Jack, that I just can't explain at this time, and it was a hell of a fucking story.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and find out who sent that because I apparently didn't copy the name on it. So.
Oh shit!
Oh fuck, man! We'll give him props.
We'll make sure you get props. I got 2 more, and they're relatively substantial. I know we're getting close, but we ran late before. We're running a little bit late now.
Yeah, what the fuck? That's our middle name anymore.
I got Scotty Grill sent a story in, said TFTC submission. Over the years, I've had my share of weird shit happen while out in the field. Always thought that this one was pretty creepy. It was a real estate inspection. Nothing out of the ordinary. Pick up the key at the real estate office and go to the inspection. Return key and paperwork back to the realtor. Picking up the key and returning was always a pain in the ass, but that's just how it was done back then. So I get to the house, nothing unusual about it, just another 1950s red brick ranch in suburban Pittsburgh. I turn the key and walk into a dusty, furnished home. The decor was old and really needed a good cleaning, and it was musty, so I figured it was empty for a while. I was heading down the hallway looking for the basement door when I was startled by an old man walking from one bedroom to another. I quickly announced myself to assure him that I wasn't an intruder, and he never said a word. I announced myself a second time and still no reply. Fuck it. Gone on with my inspection. I finished the basement and started working my way from room to room doing my thing. Once again, walking down the hall, I loudly announced myself again. When I got to the back rooms, there was no one there. I must have figured that he left or something without me hearing him and really didn't think much about it. I finished my inspection, locked the door, and headed back to the realtor office. The real estate outfit was a small family business, a father-son outfit. I've done plenty of work for them, and we were friendly and on great terms. I walk in and they're both there. I give them the report and the key to the house in a friendly manner, kind of bitched to them about having to pick up the key when the owner was home. Could have saved me some extra time not having to ferry the key back and forth. The father then tells me no one should have been there. The house is vacant. I said, well, there was some old man there, I said. Right. Then the father and son look at each other, and the son says something like, see, I told you. Then proceeded to explain to me that the house was an estate. The owner, an old man, had passed away the previous year, and the son had a similar experience. Well, all I know is that I was happy that I didn't find anything because I really didn't want to go back there. Extra creepy factor. Over the years, I have passed that house in my travels. It always seems to have a for sale sign out in front.
Yeah, imagine.
Old fucker just won't leave.
Yeah. The old badger that refuses to leave.
I like that one. I'd be like, can I go back? Can I see if I can see him again? Shit, I'll follow him next time. I'd love that.
Yeah. Real quick before you kick off the next one, I do want to go ahead and give a special thanks to Kevin Wilhite because he is the guy that gave me this, that sent me this for my birthday. And you know, Kevin, there's a little nipple for you. Yeah, man.
Yeah. The Slim Reaper.
Yeah, the Slim Reaper himself, K-Dub. Thanks again, buddy. I appreciate it. Love you to death.
Oh, and another party goer from Indianapolis, Mr. Dan Bird, also a former co-host, a guest host, should I say?
Hey, as a guest host.
Sends a story, says, not sure if this constitutes scary. Did a service for a larger home in Bergen County, New Jersey. Termite inspection, warranty renewal. No techs had been there for a year. My office had a reputation for high turnover, so it wasn't uncommon for the customer to get a new tech every year for a renewal inspection. I get there, introduce myself. The customer's daughter was home. Let me in. I start in the basement. She comes down and says, my mother's on the phone. She wants to talk to you. She tells me that someone was just there, found termites, and was supposed to be coming back later that same day. So I head outside and call the office. While I'm on the phone, another pickup truck with a magnet for the company I was with pulls up. Homie doesn't see me. Truck was pulled around back of the driveway between the house and the garage. Starts walking up to the house. The customer had shown up by this point, so she comes out the back door and says, you'll never believe this. He's here now. So I slowly, in my best Mission Impossible creep, come around the side of the house. He rang the bell and was waiting for the customer to come to the door. I had the element of surprise as his back was to me. All I could see was that he had a gun tucked in his back waistband, and through him was my only way out from the back of the house. So, having been in far worse situations just a couple of years before this, I can tell you without a death wish, this was terrifying. But I yelled, jammed my 12-inch screwdriver in his right shoulder blade as hard as I could, shoved him, and ran down the street to call 911. Turns out he was an ex-employee of the company I was with who didn't believe he was fired for just cause. So he was going to customers he could remember off the top of his head. He had kept a uniform shirt, got the magnets made, and told the printers at the office were down, so they'd mail a copy of their service reports.
Oh wow! What the fuck?
Fucking nut job, man.
The balls on that dude.
Yeah, that's pretty ballsy.
Yeah. So he got and so Dan poked a hole in with a screwdriver, huh?
Dan fucking craftsman was what he did.
I guess, man. Yeah. You got the Bernard Getz treatment. Damn.
Well, I'll tell you, those were good stories. Thank you, everybody, for submitting stories to the show,
they sure the hell were, and they were worth every penny, even on clearance.
Hell yeah, damn right. Yep. Sometimes you get some good shit at the sales, don't you?
You do. Sometimes you pick up some bargains. Me and the wife were just talking about that. She goes, "I'll go through that bargain, that clearance aisle 100 times, and maybe 85 times I don't find shit." But she goes, "It's the 15. That's 15 other times I live for." So
that's right.
Yeah, we definitely hit the jackpot tonight, Jack.
Well, I'll tell you, for your entertainment after the episode, everybody's favorite podcast intro creator has put together a Halloween song that we're going to put at the end of the episode. So stay tuned after we tell everybody to bug off, because I got a song for you. JT worked real hard on it, did a fantastic job.
Can't wait to hear it, my man.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that kid. He's so fucking great.
Tingling with anticipation. So, all right. I think what are we doing next week there, buddy?
We're doing the Women in Pest Control episode. Our latest installment of Women in Pest Control. We got Candace, we got Jerusha, we got Jenny, all former guests, and we have a new one this time. We've got Amber that's going to be on the show.
That's right.
So it's going to be awesome.
You know what? As Women in Pest Control, they're soft, they're curvy, their skin is smooth, but they are deadly.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's right. So
all
these women slay, and not in that trendy fucking kitschy way either. They're about, you slay queen. No, these women literally fucking slay shit. So
they go out there and kill shit and do a good damn fucking job.
That's right.
So.
And then they get on here and talk about it and tease us with pictures and everything. And it's just great. It's great. It's just great.
I'm looking forward to it. Jerusha was our very first Woman in Pest Control episode.
She was, and that was a freaking epic episode, and I'm looking forward to talking to her again.
It was. Candace has been on several episodes and on our get-together party, so it's always good having her on the show. She is
definitely a frequent flyer. Jenny Wilson is my PCHD daughter, and so I'm looking forward to catching up with her, making sure she's brushing her teeth and getting enough sleep.
Of course, that's important. And Amber Allen Consolino will be our new Women of Pest Control guest.
Yeah, so this is first and hopefully not the last time we get to talk with Amber. Amber is a very, very frequent contributor to PCHD, and it's just going to be a blast and a half to finally get to sit down and chew the fat with her.
Hell yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great show.
Yes, it is. So, you know what, Jack? I got some stuff to do, and you got some stuff to do too. You got to get us that song now. You got everybody pumped up for it. So it's time to get on it. So on behalf of Tales from the Crawlspace, PCHD, SpanglerArt.com, Jack and I cordially request that you glove up for Candace and bug the fuck off.
Bug off. And stay tuned.
Right. Stay tuned.
Let's all move in time to the rotting corpses dance. Join the march of rotting corpses. Let's all move in time to the rotting corpses dance. Twitching in the night, twitching in the night, twitching in the night. Full of fright but unable to fight whatever's possessing me. Oh the misery, oh the misery, oh the misery. Cheerfully inviting you to a journey into the depths of hell. As you join the rotting corpses dance, you'll soon empty out your heavy head. Let's dance together, hear it loud and clear. The crows are cawing, lend an ear. Don't you shed a tear, oh brother, sister, come here. Come join our wonderful, wonderful paradise, paradise lost. Come and dance. Join the march of rotting corpses. Join the march of rotting corpses. When only living's just delaying your decay. Sing with glee. The rotting people penetrate your heart and carry in the gaping hole. It brings a very merry tune. This is a time for fun, a time for joy, a time to sway. Come on and join us, all our bonds won't ever fade. Like a crowd of demons causing chaos in the night. Let us dance atop our graves until the light. Join the march of rotting corpses.
Y'all come back now. You hear?
Oh, thanks for listening to Tales from the Crawlspace podcast. Jack and Brad will be back next week with another great episode. TFTC can be found on almost every podcast provider available, and you can also find us on TikTok at TFTC 2.0, Instagram at TFTC Podcast, Facebook at the Pest Control Humor Depot Group, and our website, www.tftc.wtf. Don't forget to subscribe and share. See you soon.